then the dinner changes when, because then Ye and Trump are talking, and I can't talk too much about that conversation. I can tell you afterward, it'll blow your fucking mind. But anyway, so that's going on. And Karen is kind of like kicking Ye under the table, like, hey, remember what you're here to ask him. Because we set it up. He actually wrote not like a setup. I mean, Ye was planning on asking him to be his vice president. Right. Everybody says we set Trump up to get him in trouble. We didn't. Yeah. What we wanted to do was Ye wanted to ask him to be his running mate. Yeah. That was literally.
So this is what you were originally telling before I want to get more information before we got here. Okay. Yeah. So continue. Sorry.
So,
so he asked him to be my running mate.
Yeah. So, and even before the dinner, I mean, the famous tweet where he says, I forget what he said. He said, Rainey, I can't believe I kept the president waiting and I'm wearing jeans. How you think he's going to take it when I ask him to be my running mate? That is very Ye. That is very nay. He published it after, but he wrote it before. He was going to publish it before. Okay. So anyway, so Karen's kicking him under the table like, hey, remember what you came here to ask him? Mm-hmm. And so Ye says, oh, yeah. Would you be my running mate in 2024? And Trump, I thought he'd be kind of jocular and say, oh, ha, whatever. He got pissed.
Oh, really?
And my right hand to God, I am not even exaggerating a little bit at all. For some reason, I knew this wasn't going to happen, but I was afraid, he was going to punch me.
Whoa, he was that angry.
I swear.
Shit.
And, obviously that wasn't going to happen. I mean, it wasn't physically.
Was this towards the end of the conversation?
Yeah, this is at the very end.
This after you showed your support, everything.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay.
And he was exuding so much. And this is what everybody says about him. And I learned it that day. This guy's no joke when it comes to the art of the deal, negotiation. He's a master of dealing with people, and so he changed his posture. He crosses his arms, leans forward, and he says to Ye, he goes, you know what? He goes, you can win at a lot of things. He goes, and you can do your music and everything, but you shouldn't run. You'll never win at this. You can't. You think you can win at this? You can't win at this.
Oh, shit. Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
And then and I was like, whoa.
Oh, fuck.
And he turns to me and he goes, you're a pretty smart guy. He goes, I know you work for him, but go ahead, tell him he can't win. Go ahead, tell him. I know you're a smart guy.
Wow.
And I'm looking at him. Wow. And I'm looking at Ye.
Talk about a predicament.
Right?
Yo.
I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Killing it right there. He said, yo, I ain't playing games. You're not winning. Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, and I left this part out. So even before he said that, he told 3 stories. And they all had a very clear point. And it was not subtle at all. Trump is a genius at this. It was so masterful. So Ye, indicates that he's going to run.
What are the 3 stories? You don't have to say specifically.
I'll just list them off.
Well, okay, go ahead.
It was a story about, I think, Kodak Black, who got freed, and was it Sweden?
He pardoned him for his felon charge, yeah.
So it's Kodak Black.
Possession, yeah.
Yeah, and it was the basketball player in China who got charged, and he secured that guy's release.
LeVar Ball. LeVar Ball's son.
Okay, D'Angelo Ball. Okay,
yep. Jello.
LeAngelo Ball.
Jello, yeah.
Right,
there you go, yeah. And it was those 2, and it was a story about Alice Johnson. And the story went something. So he starts out and he goes, I'm not going to tell the full thing, but this is the gist. So he goes, yeah. He goes, are you still with your wife? Are you still attracted to her? You still love her? And he's like, yeah, of course, And he goes, I want you to tell her that she's a disgusting human being. He goes, exact words.
Whoa. To Kim K?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's right, though. She is a disgusting human being.
Well, but here was the justification. He goes, because you know what? He goes, I freed Alice Johnson, and then she goes and endorses Biden. She's a disgusting human being. I want you to tell her I said that. He goes, I was like, bro, that's his wife. That's his ex-wife. Then he goes in a story about Kodak Black, and he goes,
he meant Kim K. Or did he mean Kim K too?
What do you mean?
No, Kanye's current wife, which is
the ex-wife, Kim Kardashian.
Okay, so
he said
they're broken up.
Yeah. That's what I meant. So he said Kim K is disgusting, and then who's the other person? Alice Johnson.
And they freed Alice Johnson. Kim Kardashian helped secure Alice Johnson's
commutation. All right, there we go. Okay, because I remember that she went to the White House to pardon somebody, but I didn't know who it was. Alice Johnson that she got pardoned.
And so he basically said, I would never have released her if I knew Kim would have endorsed Biden. And then
there we go.
Okay. So this is the moral of the story. Next story about Kodak Black. He goes, I freed Kodak Black, and he told the whole story. And by the way, this is the other thing that was jarring. This is what made me think he was going to hit us, is because the whole conversation was so cordial. he starts telling these stories and starts dropping F-bombs, like every other word, like a mafia boss. He goes in and he's like, so I told this fucking motherfucker this. And I'm like, this is the president. Like, and you've heard him swear at the rallies. It's kind of kitschy.
Yeah.
But this is like some serious, like Casino. It's like Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Just to the story is, I would have never freed Kodak Black if I knew how disloyal he was, that he went and said all this nasty stuff after I got him freed.
Are you serious? He did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Same thing after China. He said about the and this one was even better.
It's not easy to get a presidential pardon either.
No. Yeah. Well, and that's what Trump said, is that he went to great lengths to secure his release because these guys were in real trouble.
What was Kanye doing when he was coming at him like that? Was he just sitting there like?
Well, remember, he wasn't with Kim no more. He's like, yeah, she probably is a fucking.
No, but you could tell he was visibly angry, right?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's one of these like power plays. You know how these political people are, like, they're not. It wasn't imminently obvious in that moment that like he was attacking us, that he was sending a very veiled threat.
Yeah.
I think by the end it was pretty apparent what was going on, because in the moment we're like, whoa, he just switched up and is telling this really weird story all of a sudden. But by the end of it, we're like, oh, that's what he meant. And so the third story was about the basketball player. And he said, the basketball player was brought out on the tarmac, because the president was there for the revolution's anniversary or something, big state visit, a lot of flags and everything. And so and this happened at the same time. And Trump said that the Chinese would not free this guy at the same time that Trump left, because they said, you're not going to embarrass the president leaving at this, you disgrace. You're not going to leave the same time he leaves on this big state visit. And so Trump says that after his plane took off, the Chinese brought the basketball player on the tarmac and slapped him across the face.
Really?
The Chinese official did.
Oh, wow.
And said, you embarrass the president. Don't you dare embarrass the president.
Wow.
And Trump said, and the father goes out and thanks everybody other than me. Trump said, I never would have pardoned him. I would have let him rot in China if I knew they were going to do that.
Wow.
Now, what's the moral of the story in all these cases?
They backstabbed him.
Disloyal black guys, where Trump did him a favor and these people embarrassed him and stabbed him in the back. And it's like, and obviously that's relevant to the later conversation about, will you be my running mate?
Will you be my running mate? Okay.
And so when Trump says, you can't win this and that. And then he basically threw us out. He's like, what time's your flight? I'll walk you out. It's right across the street.
Wow.
And then refused to take a picture with Ye.
Oh, shit.
Because across the other side of the dining room was that they said the richest banking family in Switzerland or Germany was having dinner. This is Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yay, come get a picture with us. And they said, we want a picture with both. And Trump refused. He's like, oh, you get a picture. He wouldn't get in the picture with Ye after that. He was cool with me. He came up to me and shook my hand. He's like, and he said, I'll see you soon. You're really, he really liked me. He was just mad at Ye, I think.
Damn.
Or maybe Karen.
Did Kanye react at all to this? Did he ever say like, yo, like, relax, like, don't talk to me like that? Or was it just like, I'm just take this on the chin?
He was really taking it on the chin.
Okay.
He was really being diplomatic.
Wow.
And I think he was, we were all just kind of taken aback. Yeah. I mean, it was so shocking because here we are. I mean, it has weight to be there in his presence.
Oh, yeah. You're at his house.
He's the man,
Yeah.
And for him to switch up like that and just bring this intensity 0 to 100, I think we were all like, we got in the car. We were like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like, but we were all like, yo, that was crazy.
I mean, he became a billionaire for a reason. You know what I mean? He became wildly successful for a reason. He became president for a reason. So, I mean, but damn, I mean, I will say this as a guy that used to work for the government before, as you guys know, used to be with Homeland, whatever. It is very difficult to get a presidential pardon. Rarely ever happens.
But didn't he also pardon A$AP Rocky as well?
You know what? It might have been about A$AP Rocky.
So
I think I got him confused.
I don't think Kodak was disloyal. I think he actually picked up Trump. I think A$AP was the one that was kind of like, whatever.
He did pardon Kodak too. So, okay, Fresh is right. Okay, so
both of them, right?
So, okay, so it was A$AP that he pardoned that turned his back.
Yeah, it was one of them. The one that he was like caught with the knife, I think, in
A$AP
Scandinavia.
Rocky.
That's so it was A$AP Rocky.
Oh, ran his current baby daddy.
It was when he got arrested in Europe.
Yes.
Accused of beating up a 19-year-old man alongside 2 members of his entourage. The charges stem from this brawl that broke out on the streets of Stockholm on June 30th, seen here in footage obtained by TMZ. Photos of the alleged victims' injuries shown as evidence to the court. The president phoning Sweden's prime minister to call for Rocky's release and personally vouch for the rapper.
And one more thing, Trump sent this man, his special presidential envoy for hostage affairs, to Sweden for the trial. It was an unusual task for a diplomat.
That's what it was.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. It was when he got arrested in New York. Him and his entourage beat up a dude.
That's right.
And then okay,
got
so he was
arrested.
pissed off. You know what? That makes more sense.
mean,
'Cause
they're both
who was his
black,
wife?
they're both
Rihanna,
black.
liberal.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, of course, you gonna say Biden.
Listen, my nigga Kodak, he's loyal, man.
Yeah. I was gonna say because, bro,
Yeah.
because in my head I was like, damn, did Kodak really switch up on Trump? Because to get someone pardoned federally, and remember, guys, he went in for found in possession of a firearm. What he did was he was a felon, and he actually bought a gun and wrote on the form he's not a felon.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man, like that's clear cut. ATF got you. That's all right. So I was like, bro, you know what I mean? So they got it. Okay, so it's that makes sense.
My boy Kodak would never.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, my mistake. Yeah, you're right. It's ASAP Rocky.
So that makes sense because you know what? It makes sense because the basketball player. So he basically got people out of situations where they were in prison in foreign countries, which that's even harder than a federal pardon because you're dealing with it's your country. Okay, pardon the guy. But if it's like a foreign country, you got to do diplomatic stuff. Oh, well, you got this spy of mine that was arrested in '85. I need y'all to release him. Like,
I will say this though, the whole LeVar Ball situation with his son, he could have just said, you know what, I don't like you, but thank you for doing that for my son. Because honestly speaking, he could have been in jail rotting for real though. That's, real
in
talk,
China,
bro.
in China of all places,
You're done, bro.
Me love you long
done.
time in
You're
jail,
done.
nigga. Like, yo, bro.
I know
like,
he's out having a kid, having family and stuff like that. It's like, bro, you got to owe him something.
I'm just saying, I'm not just saying thank you to anybody for nothing. I'm just saying I had some things done. I talked to some people that did some other things too.
Ooh.
And it's, like I said, people trying to, it doesn't matter.
Sure it does.
I mean, it's not big names like you're thinking of. So like I'm saying, people are saying, and I said it wasn't a big deal that my son was shoplifting and nothing like that. I'm saying like this, it wasn't a big deal because being raised in South Central LA, I've seen harsher things.
Right, but do
The
you
way I looked at
understand
it
why when
was,
people see
okay,
these
he
allegations and you say it's not a big deal?
He wasn't physical. We returned it. He fessed up to it. It wasn't like he was like, nah, I didn't take him. I mean, nobody got hurt. He didn't run in there with the assumption of, hey, I can't wait till I get to China because I'm going to get some good stuff. It was an impulse thing, a bad decision at a bad time.
There's no question that there are much worse crimes than shoplifting.
It doesn't matter.
But shoplifting does matter. And in China,
it's
you go to jail
it's just
for
like
it.
people said in China. But listen, you go to jail.
In fact, you could go to jail here
in the
for
USA,
it.
and you get caught. People try to make they try to make it a big deal, like they're saying.
Well, it is kind of a big deal.
You shoplift
You
in
can go to
China,
jail.
boy, that's big time. You going to jail? You can go to jail anywhere you take anything. So that's that point that shouldn't even be said.
I know, but
it's
in
saying
China,
if you got something and you want it, you should.
all right.
And that's a fine thing, but we already got that point across.
All right, so let's put the boys aside. We know what they did. You say that they apologized.
Okay.
That's good. Now, they were in a place that didn't need to let them go. And they could have been held for a long time.
They were in a place that didn't let him go. He said he got him out of jail, right?
Go.
He said, you heard what he tweeted. He tweeted, because he's mad at me, I should have left their asses in jail. First of all, they wasn't in jail. They was in a hotel. Now, how'd they get to the hotel on bail?
Did you make that happen?
Somebody had to do something.
Did you do it?
I'm just telling you, somebody had to do it.
Did
he do it?
I'm asking you, did you do it?
I'm asking you, did he do it?
He says he spoke to the president of China and that was relayed to you and the boys, that you were told that he helped.
So anybody who speaks to the president, I should thank anybody who speaks to the president?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, no, I think Trump was right, but he was telling those stories to send a message like, hey,
we probably had to fucking trade a prisoner for that shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, especially when you're dealing with foreign powers. China, I know that was a pain in the ass to get them out. It was Sweden or Norway or one of these. That at least is an ally, so it's like okay, you know. But we probably have to do some bullshit for that. But that makes sense because Rihanna is a hardcore lib. She's always, oh yeah, Biden.
Shout to Barbados,
Obama,
man.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is.